Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm here at BD Diesel in Abbotsford to go take a little tour of their place and just, discuss some plans for the race season. As you may have seen in some of my other videos, I'm on the BD Diesel race team for this year, so let's go in and take a look. Hey, what's up guys? I'm here with Brian Roth, the owner of BD Diesel, and he's going to show me around their place today.
Well, I'm glad that you came out and took the opportunity to see exactly what we do here. We've been working on it for, 40 some years now. Yeah. And certainly has developed from a three-man operation as it was back in '83 when I decided that I was going out on my own. And yeah, we got into fuel injection back then, and from there we got into exhaust brakes and transmissions, and then in the turn of the century with electronic engines we got into all electronic controls to the common rail injectors, and then moved into CNC and manufacturing and designing, and yeah, we started out with 3 and we've done 130 of us now.
That's awesome.
So let's go take a look.
Yeah, right on, you said it.
Here we see the transmission department where the guys are working on all diesel-driven transmissions. We, of course, do more than just taking the transmissions apart. We actually design the transmissions to handle more torque, more horsepower. It doesn't matter if we're pulling a trailer, or if you're sled pulling, or a quarter-mile, you know, with our Trackmaster trans. Full roller-bearing transmissions, adding clutches to them. Designing gaskets, like I mentioned, for the 68, so that we can handle higher pressure, so that we can handle that torque that the guys are putting out of their 6.7s. The torque converters here, where we are basically not only just taking the converters apart, making sure that we're furnace brazing all the impellers and the turbines to make sure that we don't have any leakage internally. And then designing stators, you know, from taking the stock stators out and putting in our design stators. A stator is like the pitch of a prop, you know. So so we have different stators depending on how much horsepower you have, depending on what you're going to be using it for. We've got about 3 different.
So is that the stall rating that would be?
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. And then as far as the clutches are concerned, you can see here what we do. This normally was just a very small clutch surface on the stock Dodge application. This is one of our first converter designs we came out with, and it's a you'll see us cut the cover there later on. And so this will handle all the higher torque. You know, that's what Derek Rose is running on his 2,000 horsepower application.
Ultimate Call-Out Challenge.
That's right. Yeah, we have about 4 or 5 of our transmissions in that.
Well, that's exciting.
So then in here, the CNC department is where we actually, of course, get the raw material in. Here you can see the covers that we just saw over there, where they're going through a final stage here of cutting. Here we have some of the apply pistons. Here you have some of the track bars being cut at this time. It changes, of course. There are big batches that come through, so you never, you know, every week there's something different coming through here. The 6.4 compressor housings, where we do the contours for them to put larger compressor wheels in to handle more fuel in your engine. And here this machine here is cutting all the exhaust manifolds. It's running the T4 and T6 waste-gated manifolds that we have for performance applications. or if you want to run some of the more stock applications, here you have the two-piece manifold, the raw casting, we're coming out with some new manifolds, some of the stock P4s, 6.7s. We've got one of the broadest ranges of exhaust manifolds in the industry available.
Yeah,
all performance or for stock, but they certainly prevent none of them crack.
Yeah.
And they blow a lot of exhaust.
With wastegate or not, and all that.
Wastegate or not, that's right, exactly. And here is some of another mill here that's cutting some of the forward intake covers, forward intake elbows, and of course we have quite a range of those ones. So this department is running 6 days a week, 12 hours a day. So in here, as I mentioned, this is the engineers' playroom where they are trying out different things, whether it be the Scorpion, the Rumblebee, the Super Bees, different things like that. We do a lot of testing. All the testing is done here actually beforehand. We buy our own vehicles, do our own testing. With the dyno facility that we have, and we've got a staff of 5 engineers, and they're constantly developing products.
That's awesome.
And just the raw casting area, it's pretty busy as far as when they're changing shifts. And as I mentioned, we're just going through a warehouse reorganization again now, and that's why so many transmissions are on the floor. Shifting things around, always constantly improving. Trying to reduce the amount of time and effort that goes into making things happen. Quality control, checking to make sure, just meeting plan, do, check, act. Somebody's got something that's happened, what has to be done to check it, different things like that, to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
So we're really training ourselves, training our people on how to, actually be fulfilled and complete the task. It's more than just a job.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as I mentioned, this area here is all under movement, development right now. We're changing where the warehousing is and how it's being handled. And locking our inventory down is another. How are you going to wish we carry about $8 million in inventory here, and we try to always keep it low. Actually, we want it has to be turned quickly. Of course, we don't like it sitting here. We don't like any inventory that's older than a year. And, so that is a challenge. But that's why we have to have sales sometimes. If it's not moving, it's out of here. And quite different compared to what it used to be, I tell you. We used to have stuff 4 or 5 years and stuff like that, but it just takes up too much space. You aren't making money on it.
Absolutely.
And then we have a turbo shop for assembling our streamer turbochargers or our stock turbochargers, or whether they be some of our Super B specials or our smooth bores for the pulling industry. And custom applications here. We can move on over into the injection room there. So we've got about 120 people working here. Here's a laser machine, so we laser etch all our components with our name on them, so you can see who made them, where they're from. A different range of the pumps, the P7100s, the VE pumps, the VP pumps. Injector teardown room, some new 205 to test injectors. Quite often you'll get a unit you get a truck that comes in and it's got one injector that's misfiring, but which one is it? Rather than replacing all of them, you can figure out which one it is and just replace that one. We charge $50 a check.
Wow.
So
that's great.
The machine itself is $30,000.
Oh, wow.
How many checks we have to do?
Yeah.
And here again, the clean assembly room. You can see the air gauges that they're using. A $10,000 torque converter there.
Wow.
A torque wrench, I should say, not a torque converter. And it's all electronic hooked into it, so it knows exactly how much it was torqued to. And,
wow, that's amazing.
yeah, the assembly process has certainly changed. It's before we'd have to take them apart 3 or 4 times to get them right.
Yeah.
And now it's actually for the stock applications, 99% of the time when they're assembled, they're done right.
Perfect. Wow. It's a lot different than someone just changing the nozzles in their
Yes.
shop.
Oh yes, yeah. Yeah. And then the machines, again, this one's still running on the test cycle, and it's just all computer driven, and soak time, and yeah, and then it rejects them or accepts them, and then we can yeah. So this one's see it. Results with F12. Oh, okay. Not quite sure. I don't. So and then here you see the CP3s. The guys working on the CP3s here. We do a lot of the R900s for all the applications.
Yeah, stroker pumps.
That's stroker pumps, yeah, with the different camshaft. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, this is the city call where the customers will bring in their components, and you know, we can work on the individual ones, or you know, again, where they come in for the local stuff, and then all of the export stuff or the other stuff goes out down at the other receiving and shipping door. So it's all the smaller shipments that will be going out. And upstairs, as where you walked in, that's where the sales reception is, where we are handling all the phone calls coming in, and of course administration, accounting, and then engineering is at the back. Yeah, so
Perfect.
that's us.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. That was an awesome tour, and it's excellent facility here. It's really impressive how much and how deep you go into all the aspects of the industry, and not just doing it and thinking it works, but actually doing the engineering behind it to prove it and testing it, validating it. It's awesome. It's very impressive.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize when I say that we'll get the engineers involved, that we really are getting the engineers involved. They are, they're quite a benefit, you guys. And you're going to be one of them, quite a benefit and need to the industry. So I've always enjoyed having good technical people on board.
Right on. Yeah, well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well, that was pretty sweet. There's some stuff I couldn't show you. I had to sign a little bit of a non-disclosure agreement, but overall, super impressed with BD Diesel here, and just the amount that goes into it. They've got all their engineering in-house, all the machining, manufacturing, everything they do here, and testing. They've got another location which does they've got a full chassis dyno, and they're very, very well put together. So huge shout out and thanks to everyone for letting me come take a look and tour around.